Hey guys, TennyGamer 4K here, and today I wanted to bring you a video on Horizon Zero Dawn. I really don't know what to say though that hasn't already been said. This is a phenomenal game. It's one of the best single player experiences that I've had in a very long time. It was made by Guerrilla Games and released exclusively on the PS4 for North America February 28th and for EU which March 1st. Now, some of the things that I absolutely love about the game are, of course, the style, the setting. It's phenomenal. There's these giant, massive robots, and you're hunting them with bows and arrows and spears and slingshots and all this kind of stuff like that. Just very old school, almost Native American type weaponry, which is just awesome. It's you versus this giant metal machine. And some of them are massive, and some of them are deadly, very deadly, where you have to plan out certain ways that you're going to attack, certain pathways that you have to take. So what did I love about this game? I absolutely loved that each one of the robots that you encounter and face are different. It's not just they have a ton of hit points and you just have to, hit them. You can, but with a very powerful bow, if you hit him in an armored spot, you might only do 6 damage, but if you hit him in the right spot, you can do 110. Each one is different. Each one has different weak points. Each one has different attacks, and even if you go up against the same exact attacker, it's still a different experience every time you do it. Now, keep in mind, some of the easier, lower level mobs are going to be relatively easy. After you get a hang of it, it's, oh, okay, shoot this guy in the eye. Oh, okay, shoot this guy in the belly. But still, that's an interesting experience, that it's different. It's not just riddle them with arrows and down they go. Everything is just a little bit different. Everyone has just a little bit of a different weak point. Everyone has a little bit of a different attack area. And they mix up their attacks enough that it keeps things interesting and fun to engage with, and just really makes you want to continue to attack them and fight them and play. It's just a really interesting, fun experience. The next thing that I absolutely loved about this is the setting. It's very futuristic. So not to spoil the story, but essentially you're playing at a time after humans had evolved a decent bit and made certain creations and certain robotics and things like that, and then something happened where they no longer existed, and you're left with your main character, which is Aloy, and she's this really independent hunter, archer, strong female character. And that's another thing that I loved about it. I love that the main character was this very strong female role. You don't really get that a lot in a lot of modern games, and it was just cool to see that it's just this, strong, independent woman who is going out and getting what she wanted. And I'm not going to spoil what she wants, but it's just very interesting to watch the whole story unfold and everything, like her whole journey just coming to a head. It was an amazing experience. It was very well written and very well done. The setting is phenomenal, where it's, this perfect mix between an open world adventure set, way back in the day, and this robotic sci-fi element. I can't think of any game that's been done like this, and it's a very cool kind of setting that I never would have really thought about. I guess if you really looked back, you could say maybe Turok. And I love Turok. Turok was a phenomenal game. I liked even the one that the remake that they did a few years ago. It was very fun. It was a good, fun game, and the setting was, kind of cool. But that was more guns and, RPGs and stuff like that, where this is more, tripster and bow and arrow. The other thing that I enjoyed was the combat system. It felt very fluid. It wasn't very clunky. It wasn't, has a lot of problems, or if you wanted to aim somewhere and hit something, it wasn't like, just drag your joystick across. And when you actually attacked the robots and hit certain areas, there was part damage. Their combat armor would fall off. And I also like the wide array of ways that you could attack. You could be sneaky and sneak through the tall grass and then hit somebody in the side with your spear. Or you can go completely the opposite and be very far away and kind of lure them into a series of traps that you've set up and attack them with your bow and arrow. And each enemy took damage from elemental strikes, which were a little bit different, where one could be hurt by fire in a certain area or a certain part of their body. Another one would be more elemental damage, where it's, electric or shock or freezing them. There was a lot of different variety in the way that you could approach the attacks and approach how you were going to defeat these enemies. And it was really fun to just try different play styles and try different ways to attack them and just really get involved and, you know, do all these different things. It never felt boring. And I've put about 6 hours into this game. I haven't beat the campaign yet. I'm hoping to shortly. But it's very fun and it's very rewarding to go around and try different strategies and try different ideas and see how else these things can really, you know, come together. What else can I do to maybe beat him just a little bit quicker? What else can I do to, you know, take down this enemy and focus on this enemy over here, or take down this entire herd without being spotted or without being tracked, without letting them know. It's just, there was a lot of different ways that you could approach a situation, and I really liked that and appreciated it. So to sum up everything that I'm trying to say, it's a good game. If you enjoy single player games and you don't need a multiplayer element, I would highly recommend picking this up if you already have a PlayStation. If you have a PlayStation Pro, this does support that and has a 4K resolution. I don't, so 1080p, and that's that. Overall, I would recommend it. I think it's a good game. Pick it up if you like it. Thank you guys very much for tuning in today. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you hated it and don't want to see stuff like this on the channel, thumbs down. Thank you guys again, and have a good night.